What is up, everybody? So this is our series on apostrophes. This is one that can get confusing in school as well as on the PSAT, SAT, and ACT, so check it out. This question is a little bit more difficult than some of the other ones that we deal with apostrophes, and the reason that's a little bit more difficult is there's actually two apostrophe errors that we need to deal with. So here we have, it's been a long day's trip. I can't wait to check into the hotel, she said. And in fact, there's not just two apostrophe errors, but there's actually one more thing that we're going to have to correct and address. Take a look at this. First of all, look at the first part. It's been a long day's trip. That's essentially a complete thought. You can think of it as an independent clause. It's basically a sentence that could stand on its own. If you take a look at the next part, I can't wait to check into the hotel. That's also like a complete thought. You can just say that on its own. It doesn't need anything else. Anytime you have a situation like that, remember, what do you have to do? You either need a semicolon, what else? A conjunction, or what's the last thing that you could do? You could separate it with periods, okay? Those are the only ways that you can solve that problem. So for this one, a semicolon would be perfect. Why? Because they are related ideas, but they are independent enough that they could stand on their own, right? They're independent clauses. So a semicolon would totally work. Now let's get to work on the apostrophes. What needs apostrophes here? First of all, as we have it here, we have ITS, been a long day. ITS, been a long day. So what do you need for that? You need IT apostrophe S. Why? Because they're trying to say it has been long, right? It has been a long day, and it's actually talking about a long day's trip. It has been a long day's trip. So anytime you want to say it is or it has to be IT apostrophe S. Now let's take a look if there's anything else that needs an apostrophe. So if we keep going, what else do we see? Day's trip. This is a little bit challenging, right? But that actually needs to be possessive because they're talking about the day's trip. Okay, so it needs to be day apostrophe S. So let's take a look at the answer choices and see which one has all of these corrections. Answer choice B. It's been a long day's trip. Okay, so here's what's going on. We do have IT apostrophe S, so that's great. Day's trip. Now, what's the problem with that one? It's days apostrophe. Remember, that's going to change the meaning, right? That's going to be multiple days apostrophe. And what they're talking about is a long day, right? So it can't be multiple days. So we know that one can't work. Answer choice C. It's IT apostrophe S. That's great. That's exactly what we're looking for. Day's trip. Wonderful. Day apostrophe S. And look at that. We have the semicolon to separate those two independent clauses. So answer choice C is perfect. Let's just take a look at D and show you what's wrong with it. Answer choice D. It's right here, right off the bat. You can get rid of it. You don't even have to go past that part of it. Why? Because it's missing the apostrophe. So remember, when you get to the more challenging questions, the ones that are a little bit later in the sections, what you're going to see is what? That there might be more than one error that you have to correct. Here we had two apostrophe errors, and we also had one semicolon error. And remember that the errors that we're working on, they're going to build together on some of these questions. You're going to see multiple of them within the same question. So it's really important that you review. And for this one of the key points I want you to remember is anytime it's talking about like a hard day's work, a long week's journey, anything like that, it's always singular. It's week apostrophe S, day apostrophe S. Alright guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you guys really enjoyed the video and found it helpful. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you know when I'm posting more content. I love you guys. Have a great week. Peace.